If you play slow pitch softball and most bats feel too heavy for you, in this video I'm going to give you some simple solutions and things to look for when picking a slow pitch softball bat. So real quick, let's talk about the problem that we have in slow pitch softball. So in baseball and in fast pitch, there are many different lengths of bats that you can choose from. You can get a 27 inch if you're a little kid, you can get a 32 inch or 31 inch if you're a high school kid who's not really that big and strong. But for some reason in slow pitch softball, there's only one length of bat, and that is 34 inches long. You're getting a 34 inch bat whether you like it or not if you play slow pitch. Now, I assume the reason that happened is because slow pitch softball is a majority male sport, and in lots of ways some of these big companies don't really care to make more iterations of bats that will better accommodate smaller bodied people, right? It's really bizarre that in slow pitch softball, a 6'6", 300-pound behemoth of a man is going to swing the same length bat as a 5'2" woman. It doesn't make sense that that's the case. In baseball, if you're 5'3", you can pick a much smaller bat that fits your frame, and if you're a gigantic person, you can pick a bigger, heavier bat, but that's not the case in slow pitch. So that said, we've got to be a little bit strategic if bats feel a little bit heavy for you. And the problem is when you have a bat that feels too heavy, what ends up happening is you lose barrel control. If there's more weight at the end or the bat's heavier in general, kind of like swinging a sledgehammer, as you come through, maybe the bat head dips and then you pop up over stuff, or maybe because it feels heavy, your swing is mechanically affected in a negative way, or you just don't get the oomph through the zone that you want. We can solve some of those problems in this video today. So feel free to scrub through the timestamps if you want to jump to different solutions. But first, let's talk about bat weight. First thing obviously is picking the right weight. Pick the lighter bat. 28 ounce? Nuh-uh. 26 ounce? Yes. Softball bats typically come in 25, 26, 27, and 28. Always choose 25 ounces if you struggle with how heavy the bat feels. Go through your whole selection of team bats and see if there's any 25s. If not, I guarantee there's some 26s. This is a very common weight. But number one, if your bat feels too heavy, choose the lighter weight. All right, next let's talk about balanced versus end-loaded bats. And if you want to learn more about these, check out the description below where I have a video comparing the performance of balanced versus end-loaded bats. Number two, if your bat feels too heavy in slow pitch softball, choose balanced over end-loaded bats. So on every model, it's going to say somewhere the weight, and it's going to say loaded or balanced. On this one, you can see right here, it says balanced. That's their strange graphic design. On this one, it says end loaded. And every bat's different, but they're gonna say it somewhere. So on this Easton Salvo model, you scan around and it says loaded. That means end loaded. They're just abbreviating. Same thing with this one, loaded. So if you see loaded, that's an end loaded bat, and that's gonna feel heavier by comparison compared to a balanced bat. So if you want a lighter swinging bat, do your diligence, go through your team racks, or if you're buying one, choose a balanced bat over an end-loaded bat. Next, let's talk about choking up, which is really important and an easy tip for getting some extra swing speed. So if you're struggling with how heavy your bat feels, step one is to choke up. You could start with an inch, you could try 2 inches, but choking up is gonna make a significant increase in your bat speed and how that bat feels in your hands and how well you control the barrel of the bat. Now, the one thing you give up when you choke up on the bat is you don't get this comfortable feel of being able to sort of pull with the knob as you come through the zone. It's nice that this kind of rests against the edge of your hand. So one way you can solve that is either with athletic tape. You can really tape up all the way, basically make a second knob for yourself. Just tape that whole thick 1/2 inch and create a second knob with athletic tape. That's one thing you can easily do. It's very inexpensive to do that, obviously. Only costs probably 50 cents worth of tape. Or you can buy something like this. I got these off of Amazon. This is a bat knob choke up sort of adapter. And basically what we're gonna do is we're just gonna slide this on front here, and this is gonna make sort of a second knob. I'm gonna put this end down. That was actually shockingly easy to get on. And so now, this is 7/10 of an inch, and this weighs 1 ounce. So let me talk about that in a second. But the immediate benefit is I've choked up 7/10 of an inch, and now I still get the same feel as if I have a regular knob there. And then if I want to stack these, I can easily do that by just pulling a second one on. Now, I know people are going to be in the comments and say, oh, those are illegal. They might be illegal in some sanctions where softball is more serious, but chances are I'm talking to a rec level player where probably no one's gonna care. And also it's kind of part of the grip, so I don't think it's actually gonna be illegal. It just does depend. And also, fortunately, these go on really easy, but you're probably gonna want to do this on your own bat rather than doing this on someone else's bat. You know, it depends on your team dynamics. But right now I've got 2 of these on here, so now I've got 1.5 inches choked up, and that's gonna make a significant difference in feel. I can feel this rubber against my hand a little bit. It's not as firm as this knob, but that's a nice addition rather than just choking up and having nothing for my hand to rest against. The other benefit of this is important, these weigh about 1 ounce each. And when you add this 2 ounces combined, or even just one of these, 1 ounce at the end of the bat, it counterbalances against the barrel. So this is gonna increase the feeling of lightness even further because you're counterbalancing the heavy end of the bat with a little more weight on this end. So that's another benefit. So if you struggle with how heavy your bat feels, this could be a really great hack for you, and these were inexpensive. I'll link to them in the description below from Amazon. The other thing you want to consider if your slow pitch bat feels too heavy is training with a heavier bat, specifically a very heavy end loaded bat. This Easton Salvo is 28 and it's end loaded, so this one's going to feel significantly heavier than say a 26 balanced. This wood bat that I use is a 34-29, and because this is wood, this would be super duper end loaded because all of this is basically just like a sledgehammer. This entire thing is solid wood minus the little cupped bit at the end. So if you struggle with how heavy your bat feels in slow pitch, if you go hit off the tee or go to the batting cage and you swing a little bit with a heavier end loaded bat, it's gonna give you some of the forearm strength and the hand strength and just some of the barrel accuracy practice. So where if you can get more accurate, finding sweet spot and controlling a heavier end loaded bat, especially a wood softball bat, it's gonna make the switch to a balanced bat a lot easier. All right, so that's it. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions or other solutions that maybe I missed, feel free to leave them in the comments section below. You'll also find links to all the different products and bats that I showed in this video today. If you're curious about what a good bat might be for you, I have a good amount of experience reviewing bats. I can give you suggestions. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you here in the next video.